Our top focus this morning is on the drone threat, which is on the rise in Jammu. Security personnel now for another night have seen drone activity being reported close to defense installations. They spotted more drones for the fourth consecutive day. Around 4:40 a.m. is when the first drone was sighted. This was near the Goswami enclave in Kaluchak. Another drone was spotted soon after at about 4:52 in the morning near the Air Force signal in Kunjwani. The drone was flying at a height of about 800 meters is the information we've picked up. Remember that since the Indian Air Force station in Jammu came under attack on Sunday, at least 7 drones have been spotted in the last 4 days. Let's take this across to our reporters on the ground. Sunilji Bhatt is joining us live from Jammu. We also have our defense editor Abhishek Bhalla on this broadcast. Sunilji, to you first, what's the information that we're really picking up on the ground about the situation currently and this latest drone activity that was spotted?
Well, Akshita, what we have learned from our sources is that this is for the 4th time that drones have been spotted near the defense installations in Jammu city. At three different places, drones were spotted in the VRs today: Mira Sahab area, Kunjwani area, and Kaluchak area. Although the drones were spotted for a minute or two, but soon they vanished. But it's a matter of huge concern for the security agencies, given the fact that this incident has taken place for the 4th day in a row. Now security agencies are trying to probe whether there were 3 drones or 1 single drone which was hovering over at 3 different defense installations.
Okay, Sunilji, I'll just come back to you. Let me just quickly bring in Abhishek Bhalla, defense editor also on this broadcast. Very worrying, Abhishek, that since Sunday, every night, using the dark as a cover, you're seeing drone movement very close to defense installations. What's being done to really address this by our forces on the ground?
Well, Akshita, clearly shows how serious this problem is. There has been hectic activity close to military installations, close to the borders. And, this is a trend that has been noticed by security agencies over the last 2-3 years now. And what happened in Jammu was really a glimpse of the wider threat that, drone warfare brings. This was the first of its kind of an attack where a drone was used to drop bombs at a military installation. And it's a reality check that this can happen and it can happen with the frequency. As a result of this, there is a lot of discussion in the security establishment. In fact, yesterday, the Prime Minister chaired a meeting along with his colleagues from the Defense Ministry, Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, the Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Puri was also there to chalk out a larger plan on how to deal with these challenges.
All right, Abhishek, thank you for those details. Thanks to Sunilji Bhatt also for joining us live from Jammu with those details. Now, the problem is that now drone-mounted IEDs are being used by terrorists, as we saw on Sunday at the Jammu Air Base. It's been used by terrorists in other countries. Now it's a problem here in India as well. And it's a very serious threat because of the fact that these drones are easily accessible. You can barely even detect them in the skies as well. Here are more details about why India needs to be worried now.
Tiny little carriers of terror, with nothing but the wind beneath their little rotors. They've signaled a new nightmare for Indian security. We've long been in the age of military drones, but it's the most simple of these unmanned air machines. Tiny little hobby quadcopters that are now the compellers of India's sleepless nights. The monster question: can India stop mini-drone warfare, or are we doomed to be overwhelmed? The bad news first. There's no blanket solution, and the literally miniature size of the threat means there's never going to be 100% defense against it. A comprehensive approach is going to be necessary. First things first, traditional air defense radars at our military stations and airports are programmed for large targets like aircraft, helicopters and bigger drones. If they're calibrated to detect small hobby drones, even birds would set off radar alarms, overwhelming the system and causing chaos and confusion. Apart from sanitization of areas around sensitive installations, specialized equipment does exist to counter drones in flight. But these again are hit or miss, with no guarantee of full protection. As you can imagine, the Indian Air Force and Bureau of Civil Aviation are scrambling to address the threat to installations. Most technologies, including anti-drone jammers and systems, are deployed in the terminal stage of a rogue drone's flight path, the last 100 meters or so, when there's very little reaction time. It would therefore be hard for a defense system to precisely identify a rogue drone's vulnerabilities and then deploy countermeasures. India's own DRDO says that its anti-drone device can bring down micro-drones at a distance of up to 3 kilometers and use lasers to target them from distances of over 1 kilometer away. Another security force operating under the Home Ministry recently imported a high-powered electromagnetic system, which zaps drones with an electromagnetic pulse, causing them to crash. But these systems could not be deployed at airports because of the risk to incoming aircraft. So you begin to see the complications in anti-drone defense. The outlook remains unfortunately bleak. Many existing countermeasures will be powerless against a swarm attack, a pack of drones flying into their targets from multiple directions. The next big scare began in Jammu, for which there are few answers yet. With Sandeep Unithan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.